خودمون رو بر اساس اون، ولی به جای اینکه به اول زنجیره بدیم با آخر، این اول زنجیره آخر زنجیره همه مردمان. اینجوری نیست ما میخوایم به کسی کمکی بکنیم. این پولی بوده که یه عمر میدادن ولی این بالا سوء استفاده میکردن، حالا میدیم همه استفاده کنن. قطعا بر اساس ارزیابی دهک‌های اول و دوم و سوم و چهارم و پنجم در این رابطه قدرت خریدشون افزایش پیدا خواهد کرد.
Well, viewers, as you can see here, we are live to Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian, who is indeed speaking during an interview. What we have at the moment, he is calling on the Iranian people not to carry out acts of sabotage. He also said that it is obvious that the people have been helping, and we hope to see more help from the Iranian people in getting rid of those who are doing injustice. Just earlier today, Pezeshkian also said that his government is determined to address Iran's economic problems amid the ongoing protests in several parts of the country. He said that Iran's enemies are seeking to sow chaos and instability following the country's 12-day war last June 2025 with the Zionist regime and, of course, backed by the U.S. itself. Masoud Pezeshkian, the president, of course, said in a televised statement that he is accusing the U.S. and Israel of being behind the disturbances. And of course, as we've previously seen, we've seen parts of the Mossad, we've also seen CIA agents who have come out and publicly announced the role of their Mossad agents and other agents in the streets backing the rioters here in Iran. He also, Pezeshkian, has urged the public to distance themselves from both the rioters, from the terrorists, calling on them not to engage in acts of vandalism or sabotage. So again, as we're seeing from the Iranian president, he simply wants the people to remain peaceful, not even to engage, allowing that to be upon the security forces and those who have been trained to. Mr. Pezeshkian also has said that the government is determined to solve the economic problems and is ready to listen to the people. We have previously seen as these protests started, and again, to remind the viewers, they started during the decline of the local currency and of the economy, where people went out, they closed their businesses, they closed their shops for the government to listen and change it for the livelihoods of the Iranian people. And as Mr. Pezeshkian has saying that that his government is determined again to address Iran's economic problems and, of course, these ongoing protests.
They've come with machine guns, they've killed people, they've burned people to death. These are not ordinary people. These do not belong to our country. People who belong to this country, they have the legitimate right to express their concerns, and we will listen to them. But what they are doing, they're destroying public property, and they are stopping us from doing what we can to create justice. We are trying to solve the problems that our nation has. We're trying to alleviate the concerns. And that is why we have asked people to help us. That is why we've asked the universities to help us. More than any other previous government, I've had interactions with different organizations. My main concern is power, electricity, water, everything that people need. We've had these problems ever since I took office, and things have changed a lot since last year, and I'm sure that next year it will not be the same. We will not be cutting power for our industry sector. We have made great improvements in solar energy. We have imported solar panels. We have been able to cut back on our energy consumption. We have revised our patterns, and there are less and less concerns. And I'm sure that in summer, with the steps that we've taken, things will be a lot better. Of course, we do have a lot of problems. They've created problems for us, and we are trying to alleviate and solve those problems. I have said time and again on national TV, in the parliament. I am ready to use the help of anyone that can help us serve the nation. But creating dissent, creating hatred, dividing the nation, this is not something we will allow. And by setting on fire different places, this is something that is totally incredible. We are a civilized nation. If you have some concerns, you can come out and express your concerns. We will have sessions to listen to your problems. But why do you cut off people's heads? Why do you shoot at women and children? When you see these images, I really don't know what to say. Where in the world do you see protests, and where in the world do they call this protests? If this happens in the United States, will they even let it happen? Will they call it a protest? If they attack a military center, will they tell them, please come in, sit down, and we'll give you more weapons to do whatever you want to do? No, these are not protesters. These are rioters. The protesters, whatever they're protesting for, we have to listen to them. We give them the legitimate right, and we are asking the nation to stand against these rioters who are destroying public property. Why do they burn shops? What did those shoppers do wrong? Why would they harm the property, private property of people, public property? Why do they stop the firefighters from reaching those areas? As the head of the Iranian National Security Council, what is the message you want to send the entire nation? Of course, the nation has separated its path from these rioters. About 80% of the people have legitimate concerns, and I promise them that I will alleviate their concerns. We will come out of this crisis. We are solving all of these problems one by one, despite the harsh sanctions. But those who are trying to frame us, who are killing people, who are setting places on fire, I am asking our nation, just as before, wherever in the neighborhood, do not allow rioters and vandals to do anything. Of course, it is our job to alleviate their concerns, but their duty also is not to allow rioters to create this much chaos. The youth of our nation, whatever analysis they have, and they have been influenced by these rioters and these terrorist groups, this is our country, and they do not want us to be a proud nation. Over the 12-day war, they did whatever they could to harm us, and they couldn't. And now they are using the economy as a weapon to make us bend down. And now this is what I'm asking the nation. Please stay and back us. And we are promising them, we are here to serve you with everything that we have. I was not looking for any job title or anything in my own personal benefit. I'm here to serve the nation. I really don't have anything except serving the people in my heart. And if it weren't for this nation, for these people, I wouldn't be following up on these concerns, because I know that the nation is worried about these things. We will build our nation. We will stop the rioters and all of those instigators from outside Iran with the help of our nation, with the help of those in the bazaar, with the help of those who are in the production sector. We will stop them. And the things that have happened so far, some of these families. Unfortunately, I'm very sorry, and I want to offer my condolences to all of those that have lost a loved one, and I hope that we can help us to get through this crisis and move out of it. Do not allow your youth to get into and stand in the same line with the rioters at night. We will have sessions. We will listen to your concerns. If you think that we won't listen, that will be another step. That is putting a bank on fire, putting cars on fire, putting mosques on fire, people's homes on fire. What kind of protest is that? This is not even dialogue. This is creating hatred. And it is being created by the U.S. and Israel, and they're teaching these rioters what to do. And these are the same people who killed our youth and our children. And now these young people are listening to them? No Iranian, in my opinion, no Iranian, no patriot Iranian from different ethnicities and different backgrounds do not allow hatred, the seeds of hatred to be sown. Either Sunni or Shia, Baluch, Arab, non-Arab, Gilak from the Gilan province, we all belong to this nation and to this homeland. I am here to do everything I can within my power to help this nation and to eliminate the problems. Of course, it is going to be difficult. Of course, there's going to be problems. But in the face of those enemies and their plots, we will continue our path. The government, with all of its power, is working to help serve this nation, and we will not allow, the families should not allow their youth to take part in these riots. Of course, they are allowed to protest, they're allowed to express their concerns, and we have to hold each other's hand to make our country prosper. But if we have economic problems and we make it worse by what's happening, who is going to benefit? Of course, our enemies. For example, the United States has kidnapped the president of a country and says, their oil belongs to me. He has gone to Greenland and says, this land belongs to me. This person is only seeking his own benefit. This country is only looking for its own benefit. Do they care, for example, about the oppressed people in Gaza? If you look at international law, they should be ashamed of what they've done. But these shameless people are bringing up excuses for all of these shameless acts that they have committed. And every day they are bombing these people. Are these people after democracy? Are they after human rights? I am asking our nation to help us with we really want justice to prevail, the justice that we believe based on our religion. The slogans, for example, the things that certain people have done. If you can find anyone that has used any of the government, any of the country's resources, I am ready to be punished for that. And until we have never done anything wrong, and we've tried everything we can to serve the nation. So please, let's hold each other's hand and help our nation, our country prosper. We've asked the entire nation to show up, to turn out. I'm asking everyone to come, everyone who knows, everyone who is aware, everyone who is defending the Iranian culture, everyone who does not want to offend his own fellow citizens. I'm asking all of them to come, but those who do not believe that should not be among them. Someone who dares to put a mosque on fire, that person should not be able to even lift their head. And I hope that the nation separates itself from these terrorists. And of course, they have done so, and we will be backing the nation and these people. We will do everything we can until our last drop of blood, until our last breath. We will do everything we can. The nation and these rioters and terrorists have always been two different paths. They've been going down two different paths. And tomorrow, the nation will be turning out to show these rioters that they are ready to defend the country against them. What is the last message you want to give these terrorists who are now in our country and the rioters as head of the National Security Council? First of all, whatever you have done, repent. No fellow citizen should destroy his own country. No human should kill another human. No fellow citizen should create chaos in the country. The first step is that we ask our nation not to get involved with these people. But those who are doing so, those who are vandalizing, who are putting shops on fire, who are attacking first responders, these are not protesters. These are rioters and terrorists. And therefore, our security forces and our military force should be firm in responding to these people. There's a time when I'm protesting something, I have some concerns. Of course, this should be listened to. We should listen. There should be a dialogue and receive a proper response. We see ourselves as the responsible officials. We have said time and again that we are ready to create this type of interaction with all of our fellow citizens to alleviate the concerns of the people of our nation. But those who are not thinking about solving the problem, but they are learning from our enemies from abroad to create chaos, we have to stand firm against them. And those who are walking down that path, if they are Iranian, they should not be destroying our Iran. If they have concerns, we accept that they have concerns, and we will sit together to alleviate those concerns. But if they are Iranians, but this is the way they are treating their own Iran, or if they are foreigners in doing so, we will be very firm in responding them. What promise can you give our nation considering the reforms that you have made in the Iranian economy? How do you see the future of the country with these reforms that you've made? Well, first of all, I have to say that we don't have any concerns as far as the economic problems we had. For example, there was not enough, there was not a balance between supply and demand. So I can promise the nation that we will be able to provide everything they need for their lives. We promise that in terms of the economy, we promise that if the nation allows us, and of course they're helping us, especially with the Chamber of Commerce, we will walk hand in hand in order to build our economy. And I'm sure that this year and next year, we are basically moving down a path that the economy is growing stronger. And this is what we're doing. We are creating a situation in which to pass the economic war that has been imposed upon us, I see a future that we will be able to build without corruption, without injustice. And as much as I have time, I will do everything to stop that. We are fighting against the roots of those corruptions, and that is why you're hearing all of these noises, because we are stopping the corruption, and that is the noise that you hear. And I hope that the path that we're going down will not only benefit the production sector, it will also benefit the entire nation. We have been talking to different specialists, people who know exactly how we should deal with this, with the inflation that we've been facing, and we will stop this. We will move out of this vicious circle, and we will try to eliminate. Of course, I can't promise that we will solve all the problems because it's really complicated and there are lots of different factors playing in, but I'm sure that we will be able to solve most of it. I'm really grateful. Dr. Masoud Pezeshkian, the President of the Islamic Republic of Iran, and he has given us briefly some of his ideas regarding what will be done in terms of the economy and, of course, those who have been misusing the subsidies that were for the entire nation to use. And, of course, we have to give him some time for these new economic policies to create a better economy for the entire nation to prosper. And I also need to say something at the end. Those who are influential, the celebrities, the scientists, those sports athletes, celebrities, we have problems. They have to help us alleviate these problems, to come out of the storm that we are in. They should not pour fuel on the fire. They have to help us come out of this problem. We do agree that there are problems. Problems exist, but we need them to help us. They need to walk down alongside with us rather than just sit down and watch what is happening and how difficult this is for us. We need all of those people who can talk to people, who have an audience, those who are influential people. We need them to talk. And if they've seen anything from us, if they have any problems, please put those problems aside. At this point, we have to help Iran to become stable again, for this chaos to end, and they can do that. They are very influential and they can bring stability to this nation once again, and I hope that these dear celebrities help us to move out of this chaos. And of course, influential people will pay attention, the entire people, all of those who love Iran, all patriot Iranians. This is our country, and the future belongs to our children. We have to help alleviate all the problems, and I hope that there will be a bright future for our children. I'm very grateful for your attention, dear audience, and I wish you all the best.
Well, viewers, we were there live to Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian during an interview there on a live television. Just a few points that he did mention, President Pezeshkian. He said that we want the people to help us get rid of those doing injustice, as they have not only caused damage and vandalized public and private property, but they have indeed killed people. He said the people have been helping, but we ask for the nation to help even more, as these rioters do not belong to the country. He said, as a government, we are trying to alleviate the problems, and this is why we are asking the people to help us. We're asking universities, scientists, and anyone who can help to come and help us. He said that many things have changed since last year in regards to water, electricity. We have improved a lot, and therefore there are less concerns. And of course, every year we go forward, more problems will be seen. President Pezeshkian also did saying setting things to fire and destroying property and shooting at women and children in the streets is not acceptable, and they will be dealt with harshly. He also did send a few messages. President Pezeshkian sent a message to the nation, to the people. He said about 80% of people have legitimate concerns, and I will alleviate them. But for the rioters, I ask citizens to not allow any rioters to make chaos in your region and elsewhere. He also directed to the youth, and he said that the foreign backers have done everything, or did everything, during the 12-day war to try to make us bow, and this is why they failed, and now they are trying to use our economy against us. In the end, again, viewers, we're recalling the statement of Masoud Pezeshkian, the Iranian president, and he also said that the nation needs to hold hands. They need to defend the Iranian culture, defend the future, and I hope that the nation separates itself from these rioters. He said a message to the rioters he gave off, saying that repent to whatever you have done. No human should kill, no citizens should create chaos, and these people are terrorists. Our security forces will deal with them harshly, and we must all stand firm against them. He ended off by saying in his interview that the future of the country, in regards